Welcome, my beautiful souls. Do you know that right now, somewhere out there is a person who has no idea that they're about to meet you? And when they do, something inside them will instantly recognize your soul. So today, we are going to our spirit guides and we are asking 5 hard-hitting, want to know the real answer questions. Who is this unexpected love? How will you meet? What will they feel when they see you? What makes this connection different? And when might this person enter your life? You're entering each other's lives. So these are the questions we're asking, and we are going to use a few different decks. I do want to give them a quick shuffle. Everything is always pre-shuffled before you get here, but I like to give it one shuffle with you here also. I'm gonna cut. So these, the Universal Tarot, will be the main answer, and then supporting that answer will be the Crystal Vision. Get out of here. Look at that. The Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Knight of Pentacles, guardian angel energy. Knight of Pentacles tells you I come at the right time. The Knight of Cups, unexpected cup of fulfillment. Love. Look at them coming in. They're like connected. And the Knight of Pentacles telling you, like, this is happening at the right time. Well, I don't ask for, like, tell me what's happening next year. I want to know what's going to happen soon. So look at that. This is a great omen for this reading. Wow. It's like we can't unsee that. All right. But we don't want to unsee that either. And then the Gilded Tarot will be also supporting the question. So let's go shuffle. I know some people say I should cut this part out of my reading, but honestly, I like to see me shuffling the cards. I like you just being part of the process. Okay. And then I did bring out the major arcanas. I'm not really sure how we're going to use them. Capricorn. Um, but we will use them. So we'll put them here. Okay, guys, I'm excited. I'm like nervous, which is really strange for me, like to be nervous to do a reading. It's not that I'm nervous to do the reading, but I feel like, maybe what I'm feeling is like the butterflies already. All right, number one. Who is this unexpected love that we already saw? We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the Ten of Swords. Okay. So first of all, the Queen of Cups can certainly be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This feels like definitely someone who's open to love. And I do feel like you have to be open to love. You know, it's interesting the Ten of Swords is here, and that's certainly not what's coming in. This may be telling us that after a difficult time, for some of you, it could have been like you may have just been with like a karmic soulmate, and I feel like if you were with a karmic soulmate and you understand that like a karmic soulmate is teaching us something, it's usually some type of a mirror. Um, I always feel like your true love soulmate is not far behind. So some of you, I feel like that's where you've been. The Knight of Cups, not the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Swords, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I feel like this is someone, boy, it's funny because I don't know why I'm thinking this, but for someone, I feel like this person's like an auctioneer. Like I use my voice and I use it fast. And auctioneer is what popped in my mind, but I use my voice and I use it fast. But I also feel like there's no wasted words. And the message is clear. So I use my voice, I use it fast. I don't use fluff words, but my message is clear. Interesting. All right, I think this is where we will take a major arcana. Let's go ahead and give them a cut. All right, well, strength card. Leo. Some of you could be Leo. Interesting because this feels like a new beginning. And what I'm loving is I'm seeing the infinity number or the infinity symbol. And I feel like my guides like point certain things out to me. Like I've seen this card a million times, but for some reason my eyes are drawn to the infinity symbol. Her goggles. As above, so below. No beginning, no end. So soulmates, yes. But you know what? I don't think I'd be doing the reading otherwise. I feel like this may get like a little jumbled as it relates to the questions like being in order, but I want to tell you what I'm feeling. Because I feel that both of you have gone through situations, and they could have been different. One could have been like a celebration and another, like a death. Um, one, a loss of a job, the other, a promotion. It doesn't always have to be like both were bad things at the same time, but they're pinnacle years. You know what I mean? Like you can go back and be like, oh yeah, I remember this year this happened. Well, I feel like that has something to do with this energy. Okay. We'll put strength card down there. Let's keep going. And then we'll probably come back. So how will you meet? The world. Beautiful. Um, boy, I feel like it's saying after something comes to completion. And that must be the Ten of Swords. And even how I put the strength card there, not really thinking about it when I did it, but now I feel like what it's saying is, these daggers that were put in the back, sometimes a repeat pattern, is just attracted to the bad boy, the bad girl. And I had to figure out that I was the common denominator. Because this is looking within and understanding, it's really courage, power. That's what it becomes. And it's an 8, new beginning. And then the world, completion, because something else is ready to open. And in between the portal is the Fool. Like Let's go. Let's get this new beginning started. We have the Five of Pentacles, change, and beautiful. The Three of Wands, optimism. You know, what's interesting is you have the World, and that talks about completion, but it's really like the promise of a brand new day. You know, with the Fool in the middle of the portal, like all is possible. The Fool doesn't think in limited ways. So clearly, it was important that this past energy, you know, it's not forgotten, but it is cleared. And what I mean by that, and it's showing like a change of energy, like from what was hard to now getting excited about life again, even if I don't know what's going to happen. And you know, I already know you don't know. This is one of the reasons why I was felt called to do this reading. Three of Wands is the present moment. The world is the present moment. Um, the Five of Pentacles, it is change. And it can be change that we didn't necessarily ask for. You know, it could certainly be, it feels like some type of change where I do need to like recoup, and I know you will. Um, you know, we just don't realize it when we're in it. But I definitely, well, it's showing like different energy immediately. It's almost like it's answering the question, how would they feel when they meet you? And I feel like right away, but that's not the question. So, you know, this is interesting because the Three of Wands, it is present moment energy. It's the energy of optimism. This really is trusting in divine timing. And I know we want answers now. And I feel like divine timing must be part of it because I feel like because this is a soulmate. Um, Definitely for those who, like, you know, or you're just now having that realization, like, wait a minute, this past person or even current, like, I may call him a soulmate, but type of soulmate, there's different types. You know, and it's interesting because I feel like my guides are like, you know, we don't have to give love a name. But anyway, so this is really someone who is trusting in divine timing. And it's interesting because I get this feeling where, you know, let's just say we have the soulmates, but I feel like, you know, they're each living their own lives. Um, they each go through some type of change, you know, that puts them in this new beginning type energy. One may be looking at it as not good, and the other one may be looking at it as, yes, this feels good. So I get the sense that your perception maybe of love is different, or what you're going through. You know, I feel like in the Five of Pentacles, change happens whether I want it or not. This isn't like an option. This happens. And really what I love about the Five of Pentacles um, is with this change is when you really start meeting like your soul tribe. So soulmate friends, um, just the right people at the right time. Like if I was about to take a right, but I was meant to take a left, like a soulmate, like comes in and just brushes me, and it just makes me take that left, and that may be how divine is orchestrating this, almost like this soulmate comes out of the blue just when I'm about to go this way and changes my direction. I could definitely say for at least one of the soulmates here that whatever was is clearly over, because I do feel like one of the soulmates, and it's making me think of Temperance, because Temperance, I feel, one of her jobs is making sure that both of the soulmate cups are equally filled. So that can be different timing. You know what I mean? Like one soulmate, and that's exactly what I feel like. One is still kind of recovering, and the other is like, and I don't even know that it's like looking for love. It's interesting because this person is looking like out at sea, out at the water. And it makes me wonder, wow, all of a sudden, speaking of water, it just started pouring here. Like the skies just opened up. But, um, I feel like saying, I don't know why I'm seeing this, but I'm seeing like five people, and I'm seeing men, to be honest, five men in front of me. And I'm getting that saying, one of these doesn't fit with the other. So I feel like out of these five, my soulmate's in there. And I feel like it's pretty clear, like, which one doesn't fit with the rest. So there's four that could have been like part of this past. But then that one, I'm saying he because I'm seeing men. But if you're a male interested in females, then just put females there. But I feel like the soulmate is stepping forward. It's clear. It's clear. Um, Probably energetic. I feel like there will be a conversation. Yeah. It's interesting. I feel like there's going to be a conversation that opens up. Um, I'm trying to feel like, where are you at? Are you at a party? And I don't really feel like it because I feel like you're doing your thing because you're kind of in your head and they're doing their thing. It's almost like you're at the grocery store and you have your list, you know what I mean? And you're just concentrating on your list. I want to get this, that, and get the hell out of here. But I feel like, why do I feel like they're in a much more optimistic energy? So their head is up, and it's like they're picking out fresh fruit and they're feeling it and they're smelling it. And there's you coming over just grabbing that orange, like you don't look at it, you just grab it, and they're like, whoa, that may strike up a conversation. Like, whoa, why are you in such a rush today? Wow. So I feel like these conversations are just going to open up wherever you're at, because I'm also feeling for some of you like you're standing in a line and it feels like I'm in a convenience store. And maybe I just want, and again, I get that energy of like I just want to pay my gas bill. I just want to pay my gas bill. I don't want to stand in line. These people are buying all kinds of crap. I just want to pay my bill, and maybe you're like, ah, making these noises and someone behind you taps you. Like, what's wrong? And you strike up a conversation. Now you don't want the line to move at all. Like, line, please don't move. Why? Because there's this familiar energy immediately. Interesting. Okay, so that was all channeled. I didn't see that in the cards. It was just channeled. Okay, well, let's keep going. Um, well, it's funny because I feel like I already answered this, but what will they feel when they see you for the first time? Wow, the hermit. Wow, the hermit. Past lives, right? The accumulation of many past lives, the wisdom of. And what I love here is the hermit's beacon of light, the lantern, is in front of him. So this isn't someone who's going into the dark night of the soul. This is someone who has emerged smarter, wiser than I was before. Could have taken me a while, but who's counting? You are. 9. I feel like it's like this wisdom is what they notice. And I find that interesting because in every scenario, I have you kind of like rushing, not paying attention, and I have them in this like almost like state of awareness. They may recognize you're a soul and not know why. I don't think they know either. Like, I don't think they strike up this conversation because they think there's my soulmate, but there's something that attracts them to you over and over again. 8 of Cups. Hmm. Boy, feel like I meet this person in emotional problems. Goodbye. You're all in the past. Look at this. 10 of Pentacles. And I should say the Hermit is the card of Virgo. It's also represented 2025. And it could certainly talk about like what you let go in 2025 and what's coming in um now 2026. But I like the 8 of Cups above the Hermit because this is someone who is interesting because I feel it's you. I feel like you're the top line, to be honest. So this is walking away from, the emotional past. And usually it's with emotional clarity, but I don't even think it matters. Because I feel like once this conversation begins, these swords, whatever happened in the 5 of Pentacles, that it won't matter. Not only won't it matter, but you may, if you take the time, you may see the purpose. You may see the steps that brought you right to where you're at. Look at this, the House of Abundance. Wow. House that takes root. This is past lives, no doubt. No doubt. Here we go again. Boy, all of a sudden that came to my mind, and here we go again. But not in a bad way. It's funny because there's the 5 Pentacles where I said you will recover, and then there's the 10 of Pentacles. So double the 5. Now I have thunder out there. All right. But I don't want to rush the reading. I was just thinking, watch me lose electricity. I lose it like if the wind blows. But at the same time, I don't want to rush this because I'm really into it. I feel like no one's coming to the table. Boy, I was going to say broke, but it could be broke. But it doesn't mean I'm not a hard worker. You know what I mean? Situations could have caused that. So funny how I corrected myself so quickly. But I feel like what I'm saying is there's no there's no leech here. There's no one like I want my hands on this or that. This is no, none of that. Like this Ten of Pentacles feels very natural to me. And what I love about the Ten of Pentacles is I feel like this is where we are setting roots. And this could be, it's almost like the Hermit is calling up the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, I feel like I'm completely out the questions now, and just giving you what I'm receiving. But let's continue. Um, so what makes this connection different? Different than the rest? The Seven of Swords, or of Wands, I'm sorry. The Emperor. You know, it's interesting because the first thing I felt when I picked up the Seven of Wands, I felt like this is someone who would defend you come hell or high water. It's the first thing I felt. And it has nothing to do with this card. But that's what I feel. I feel like this is someone who would defend you. Defend your name, defend your honor, physically, whatever it take. Whatever it would take. And it almost feels like instinct. And then we have the Emperor. What am I asking? I just got goosebumps. What makes this connection different? Well, hello, Emperor. Someone you can look up to. This is a card of Aries, by the way, I should say that. Um, but I feel like what it's representing is exactly what the Emperor is, like a leader, someone who is compassionate and empathetic, who is meticulous, and maybe you are too. And I don't mean it like to a fault. Um, this could be someone who I often feel like the Emperor has a lot of papers or notebooks around because he puts a lot of, like what he's thinking, he writes it down. This is your person. This is who I would want for you. Six of Swords. Goodbye, toxicity. There you are in a boat again. What reading did I do, or I got the same thing? And I'm looking around like, well, where else you were in the boat? But why did I say that? Oh, right here, Three of Wands. You're looking across water, and here comes the person in the boat. And this person's looking at someone in a boat. Now, that's probably just a, what do I want to say? God, my mind just goes blank. Like an example. There's a word I'm searching for. Definitely a synchronicity. And the swords, where was it the beginning, part of our beginning? Clearly, this is someone leaving that and really leaving it behind. Again, I just don't feel like in this energy I'm expecting anything other than just to put a foot in front of my other foot. If you're dealing with anyone from back here and you meet this person when you meet this person here, if this person tries for whatever reason to come back in and of course you're going to tell them no, because I feel like once you two meet, that's that. So anyone of the past is like, the Emperor's like, I got this if you want him to, not if you don't want him to. This isn't someone who, though I do feel like it's instinctual. Like, of course I want to protect you. But I guess what I'm feeling is it's not that you need it, but maybe you will welcome it. Like, ah, I can relax. Hmm. When I think of yin and yang, I think of the Emperor and the Empress, to be honest with you. Don't know why I just brought that up. Okay. When might this person enter your life? Well, I think at this point they entered, but let's see what we get. The Eight of Swords. Well, when you free yourself, and the rest will follow. Self created prison. Look at this, the star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. Even if you're in that self created prison. Look at that, the Seven of Wands again. Boy, some of you, I feel like that may be the energy you're looking for. Like, I want someone who, well, this person looks like they're protecting you. Like they're protecting these wands from coming through this doorway. And I have a feeling you're in that doorway. Gone from defending to protecting. Question is, when might this person enter? Boy, I hate to say it. You have more power here than you know. You want to remember that you are the co-creator of this. So, what am I holding on to? And what is ready to leave? And if I'm not letting it, why? Ask yourself those questions like why am I putting these walls up? Am I not trusting my intuition? Because your intuition is your protector. It's your guiding light. And don't forget, you are the hermit also. That is the wisdom of all your lifetimes, your higher self. But then the star, right? It's like when you plant those seeds and you break yourself free from, you may have broken yourself free from this, but maybe the your thought system. Maybe that's what you need to look at, let's just say. Boy, it's like spirit just threw it right back at you. You think that it's all about divine timing. and waiting on us. But what you forget is sometimes we're waiting on you. How can I bring in this soulmate when you have these walls up? The Ace of Swords on the bottom of this deck. That's truth. That's communication. Five of Wands. Well, that's mirroring that Eight of Swords. Fighting. A lot of ego in this energy. Nobody wants to back down. Everybody wants to be right. And I feel like the best thing you can do in this energy is the five. Leave. Or if you can't leave, just don't allow yourself to get pulled into it because it feels like it's doing a number on you and it's other people. But yet, because this is change, this is a new beginning. Both are kind of being blocked though. All right. Look at that. Look at that. The Ace of Swords mirroring the Ace of Swords. Look at that. And what is coming in the middle of it? The Five of Wands. Look at this. The Ten of Cups. It's like right beneath the surface. Right after this change. This realization. That's really what it is. Like, why do I allow myself to get pulled in other people's drama? Literally, you are taking these daggers, or were, and I feel like anything that may have left, maybe you need to allow that, especially with the world here, right? The completion, but then the new beginning, and then the hermit, the wisdom of those experiences, not the feelings of them, right? I'm not going to allow myself to feel the Ten of Swords every time I think of it, because I'm sure you will talk about it to the Emperor. Look at this Ace of Swords mirroring the Ace of Swords with the Ten of Cups right underneath that. We have Judgment. Interesting. Judgment is your spiritual team. And when you see Judgment, know that you're being called to the present moment. You're being guided. And it is about a rebirth. I'll take it. The Hierophant. Heart of Taurus. But it is a 5. And I feel like the Hierophant also wants you to ask yourself some questions. Just like, like my morals. Am I living according to my morals, or am I lowering them to meet other people's? Same with your life, your faith, all that. Why have I stopped believing? Why have I given up faith? Is it other people? I need to know that. I feel like that's what Judgment is saying. And then I feel like the Hierophant's going to give a blessing. And look at this, the Hermit again. The first time, I don't know why I've never seen this, but it's almost like holy water. Like he's spreading holy water. And so it begins again. And so it begins again. This is not your first lifetime. And I feel like let's finish it with the romance angels. Two hermits, two aces of swords. like spiritually aligned. Give your relationship a chance. Hmm, that doesn't make sense. Oh, excuse me 1 second. I got a knock. Okay, sorry about that. All right. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. And you deserve love. You are lovable. There's this person shooting their arrow across the water. And I don't know if that just means distance, though. I have to say, like, a lot of the energy I'm picking up is like right in your own neighborhood, right? The same grocery store. Um, it just feels like the same area. Maybe that's why it's talking about your friends. Maybe you're with your friends. Maybe. But I do feel like the majority of you, I kind of feel like you're alone. You're doing your thing. Okay. I don't even know why I took more cards. Very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. I feel like that's speaking to the person in the Eight of Swords. Even you're lovable, the way it's shooting its arrow to the Eight of Swords, you need to know that. And then express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So, when? Very soon. And when I say very soon, I mean we have judgment here. We have the world here. We have eights here, all about new beginnings. I'm blown away by the two aces of swords mirroring each other with the ten of cups like right below that. Okay. I just want to see if they were the same, but they're not. So, I feel like communication is a big key here. And again, it's like I literally feel like the majority of you have your head down that day, that one fateful day, the day you will put a pin in it. Like, I don't want to forget this day. And even the star, it's like answering your dreams. Even if I'm in the Eight of Swords energy, I'm still dreaming. I'm still, this is what I want. Like the hermit sprinkling holy water over the Eight of Swords. But really, it's like you deserve love. You can't compare this love to this love. Because again, I saw five faces, and four of them were the same, and one stood out. So, really, the common denominator of the four is me. So, why am I attracted to, like, what pulls me to this energy, and why do I think that maybe that's all I'm worth? I feel like this is where your spirituality comes in. Believe in yourself, trust in yourself. Know that even if you're in a difficult space right now, you just never know. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, Lord, I've had so many changes in my life, and half the time I didn't know what was next, especially where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? Like, you just never know. And I'm not going to tell you lift your head up, though I want you to. Um, because I feel like it's just going to happen how it's going to happen. And that's that. I don't know why. But I just want to look at this Emperor for a second. We have the Hangman. Hang on, you move too fast. Don't you want the national? The Seeker of Wisdom. A pause in the energy. It's almost like here we go again, where we have energy, one energy that is ready. But Temperance is like, but I have to make sure both cups are ready. We have the Tower, the Devil, and the Moon. Interesting. The Devil, card of Capricorn, the Moon, card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. You know, it's interesting. I feel like I don't say this very often, but I feel like this person very quickly is going to have this realization about you. Like that this has not been your first time together in past lives. You know, and I feel like they're spiritually awakened. I mean it. Even though the hangman is here and he's not in the awakened state, I feel like it's the emperor in this energy of pause. He has to be. He has to be. Even the devil with the Eight of Swords, or for some of you, it could be things that just kept tempting you, but kept resulting in towers. And maybe it is the realization of that that opens the door. You know, sometimes we have to deal with the hard truths. But the moon is also very dreamy energy. So some of you may have been dreaming about this energy. And I've been getting that a lot. Like there's been people having dreams, but the person is faceless. But I feel like that's how it's meant to be. Okay. I think I'm gonna let this be. Um, so I'm glad I did this reading. I'm glad I did this reading. Um, you know, what I want to say is like what you want to do is really put yourself where you feel yourself. It doesn't matter the sign. Like don't even worry about that. Doesn't mean it can't be the sign, but it doesn't have to be the sign. That's what I'm trying to say. But I feel like we have one who potentially is ready. And maybe the Ace of Swords is truth, but then this truth becomes communication. Okay, I'm going to let it be. I'm going to let it be. I love you guys. I thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. You know, I feel like there's got to be a follow up reading to this. We'll see. I'll let your comments tell me. I'll let your comments tell me. Again, thank you. I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.